Our next honoree is going to be Jaya Bahadkar. The passion Jaya brought to her career in nursing comes through her community service as well. Over the past 25 years, she has been a pillar of the Indian community, playing key roles in various organizations. Whether it is India Association of Long Island, Indian American Forum, India Home, National Indo-American Association for Senior Citizens, South Asian American Political Committee, wherever there is a cultural program, you can see Jaya behind the scenes. Jaya's husband Suresh was also an active member of the community, and wherever Jaya went, he went too. And he was a dear friend to all of us. Jaya.
Okay, here. One more. Thank you.
Good evening. I just want to say a few little words, not too much taking time in speaking. I'm here to say thank you to Sava and especially Anil Amida and Subhasji. They did a very wonderful job for me. I don't know why they thought, because community people, they are always there for me. I just wanted to say, Honorable Judy Baswat, thank you very much. And I'm just forgetting that. And community leaders and family and friends. Family, friends, my son Rahul is here and Raki is here. And the community leaders. I just wanted to say there are some special friends that will be, Anila already mentioned, Zai Sahed and IDP, Kamlesh Mehtaji and Babi Kumarji, Indian American Forum, Indo Jaswalji. These are the people, Nayas Rajendra Prasadji and APQLI, Bhavani Srinivasanji. These people, they made me to work and made me opportunity to learn and grow with them. So I cannot forget about India Association of Long Island. India Association of Long Island is a part of my family. We all work together, we take a pride and joy to do anything, and they are always there to support me. I'm working with them for 25 years almost. So I have to be thankful to everybody. Thank you and good night. And then I just want to mention one more thing. I have a granddaughter, 2 years old. Her name is Leela. She's still in the hospital. And she'll be probably coming home tonight. I don't know. After this, I have 2 days. 2 days, sorry. 2 days old. So I had to, she wanted to be part of this event, but she couldn't make it. And thank you very much. Thank you, Leela.
Next, I'll call Bharti Nelatula to come and introduce Dr. Subhadra Nori.
Thank you, Anilaji. Good evening, Honorable Judy Boswell, distinguished honorees, student awardees, and my dear guests. It is an honor for me to introduce Dr. Nori, I mean Dr. Subhadra Nori, to you this evening. When we invited her to be an honoree at this event, she was actually surprised. She said, and I quote, "This is a surprise when Rama called me about this honor. I thought it was for my husband. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm thrilled to accept," she said. Thank you, Subhadraji. As a note, her husband, Dr. Dattatredu Nori, is one of the world's leading authorities in the field of oncology. We are honored to have you here amongst us. Coming to Dr. Subhadra Nori, she was born in Kakinada in Andhra Pradesh and is a graduate of Usmania Medical College in Hyderabad and later did her residency in Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. She is currently the Regional Director of the Department of Rehabilitation Medicine at Elmhurst Hospital, Queen's General Hospital, and the Queen's Health Network. She is also an assistant professor at Mount Sinai School of Medicine. She has won several awards for excellence in medicine and has published many papers in medical journals. She is associated with American Telugu Women's Association, which was founded in collaboration with Basavatarakam Foundation in India. These two organizations raised funds and built a cancer hospital in Hyderabad, which is famous throughout India for its care of its patients. About 20% of the patients receive charity care. She has spoken at several women's forums in USA on subjects of breast cancer and back pain. Dr. Subhadra and her husband formed the Nori Foundation, through which they started 2 Sai temples, one in Baldwin, Long Island, and the other in Islin, New Jersey. In addition to Indian cultural festivities, these temples conduct health fairs, music lessons, etc. Dr. Subhadra loves to travel, enjoys reading and gardening. She is learning to crochet as though she has lots of time, and her goal this year is to give handmade scarves to cancer patients. She is a proud mother of a lawyer's son married to a lawyer and a physician daughter married to a physician. She has 4 grandchildren. You are truly a role model for all these girls today, Dr. Subhadra Garu. Thanks for accepting this honor.
Bharti, thank you for your kind words. Truly, I never expected this, you know. When they called me, I was like, are you sure you have the right Nori? Because I'm used to following him everywhere when he gets these honors and awards and ceremonies and all this, and I'm always in the background. So this is truly an honor for me today, and I'm really glad to accept this. Congratulate Sawa for doing such a wonderful job. You guys are doing something tremendously important. Someone else already said that. It's the girl time. Yay! It's about time, If you listen to epics and Puranas, ladies have always been in the forefront, like Damayanti and Draupadi and all these people. But what happened in the middle, we don't know. We went in the background. But anyway, it's coming back, and I'm very glad that this organization has found the right cause and the right deed. And I have a piece of advice for the ladies, young ladies here. Yes, it is a lot of hard work and dedication that you need to put in order to come somewhere in your life. There has to be a goal, and there has to be a pathway, and there has to be effort to achieve that. So it is a painful path. And particularly for us ladies, we have to juggle so many things. Not just the family, just be a good wife is not enough. You have to be a good mother and a good grandmother too. And a good to be able to come up in academics, I've put in a lot of hours. All of you have also. I know you are a lot of doctors here, women doctors and men doctors, so I don't have to say this. But in any case, in the end, it all pays off, So continue to do what you're doing, and it will take you somewhere one day. And once again, I congratulate Sawa, and thank you very much for giving me this award. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to call Dr. Bhavani Srinivasan to come and introduce Dr. Sunita Kanumuri.
Thank you, Anila. Good evening, everyone. James Thurber, the famous novelist, said, when he woke up at 4 a.m., he would sneeze and sneeze for hours. He finally came to the conclusion that it must be an allergy to consciousness. But if you have an allergy, have no fear, because Dr. Sunita Kanumuri is here. Sunita Kanumuri completed her residency at the Medical College of Ohio and her fellowship at the University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey. She is board certified in allergy and immunology and has been in private practice for the last 20 years. She has a passion for an integrative approach to medicine. Dr. Kanumuri recently became a diplomat of integrative and holistic medicine. She has been serving the community for over 20 years. An active member of the American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin for the last 15. She was elected the second woman president of the organization. During her tenure, not only did she work with her team to lobby physicians' cause, she tirelessly reached out to the community. Her goal was prevention and healthy lifestyles. She worked with RDs, health professionals, and several organizations, held health camps and walkathons, and has conducted the same both in India as well as in the US. She co-published 2 ebooks on functional medicine and optimal health. Both of these publications are available on the RP website if anybody wishes to access them. She was president of the Association of Allergists and Immunologists from India from 1999 to 2001 and was instrumental in publishing the Pollen Book in India. Dr. Kanumuri has served in different committees and been actively involved in the American Academy of Allergy Immunology and American College of Allergy Immunology. In the span of her entire professional career, she has been involved in different cultural, social, and religious organizations. Her philanthropic efforts are significant, and she is a contributor to Pratham Health Foundation, CRY, Shankara Eye Foundation, Ekal Vidyalaya, and Arsha Vidyalaya, to name a few. Dr. Kanumuri has been named one of the top docs of New Jersey from 2003 to the present. She was honored by the National Registry of Who's Who and is a life member from 1999 to the present. She was also named Jewel of India in 2013, as well as her most recent accomplishment being named VIP Woman of the Year by the National Association of Professional Women. In her spare time, I don't know what that might be, she enjoys painting, traveling, cooking, and reading. She's grateful to her parents and daughter for their support and encouragement throughout the years. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. Sunita Kanumuri. Dr. Kanumuri, being a leader in the community, would you like to say a few words and tell our youngsters, what's the best road for them to take?
Sure, Bhavani. And before that, I would like to thank, it's actually my honor and I'm to be here. I'm very humble. When Bhavani called me, I was kind of surprised but was happy that she thought about me. I have known Anila and Subhashi for many years. And driving up here when Bhavani was saying, when I was reading the mission statement, it was all about what they're doing for women. And I said, wow, this is actually a true leader. And I congratulate Saba and the executive committee, whoever is involved here, for putting this great gala here on this beautiful venue. My daughter walks in and she said, wow, the venue is great, the arrangements are wonderful. But I think having seen what you're doing for this young women who are going to be the future and encouraging them, I think that's the best you have done. As a matter of fact, we talked about empowerment. We still talk about empowering women in our constitution and many speeches. But I think this is part of empowerment. We shouldn't be talking about empowering women anymore. We should be reaching a place where we're already empowered and we are not fighting for equal rights, but we are soon going to be equal to everyone. And having said that, Bhavani, since you talking a little bit on leadership, this is for the younger crowd. When we when we talked about leadership, it was actually said that, what is leadership? It is the best or the strongest vessel that can hold through any kind of a storm or a hurricane, because that's leader and ship. But in a serious note, I would say leadership is a leader is somebody who can inspire someone to do things. And like Peter F. Drucker said, as a manager, somebody who manages things does the things right. He makes sure that things are done right. But a leader makes sure that he does the right things. Having said that, trust in leadership is something we all look for, because a leader is somebody you can trust for. And how can you achieve that until and unless the leader is competent? Unless he's competent and he does his work, you can't follow them. He should have good integrity. So if you're looking forward to be somebody, then I think you should be with integrity. You have to be competent. You should have respect. You should develop respect for others. Have respect for yourself, of course, and respect for others. Having said that, many of you do look at Stephen Covey, and nowadays he's on TV having his own show. So if you look at his Speed of Trust, I think the biggest thing about leadership is to develop trust not in yourself only, but among relationships, among people. And if you can do that, you can achieve that by also being competent, by dedication, for creating a respect, having integrity, and also another thing of a great leader, and some of these can be cultivated. You don't have to, just have them. You can look at them, understand what your goals are, and you can cultivate them. And I think the other thing is magnanimous. I mean, you should be forgiving and also accept your mistakes, and that's a good leader. Having said that, the last part that I want to say, the biggest quality of a good leader, I wanted to read this because it's a little bit too much. I didn't want to make a mistake on this. Basically, what is it that makes Nobel laureate Madame Curie, who helped her push the frontiers of discovery in radioactivity, and what is it about Dr. Hargobind Singh Khurana that helped invent the breakthroughs in DNA? Well, all of that was equality, my friends, is magnification. It's the magnification of quality, the magnification, audacity, or the vision of hope, the courage of change, the power of diligence, the strength of duty, the spirit of endeavor, the drive to succeed, and the ability to preserve. So while all of these certain qualities are there in most of us, but many of the leaders have either cultivated them or magnification of their qualities. So today I call upon all the youngsters and their parents to encourage them so they can be leaders in future. And I on ending, I would say thank you all again. It was my pleasure to be among you. But I don't want to forget my dear friends who have inspired me and been my supporters, and my daughter who's here today, who's usually in college, but I was very pleased she could be here, who's been my inspiration and support, and my parents who were not able to make it here today. Thank you.